Do you find that your friend circle is significantly smaller than what it was? Or you don't have as many people to hang out with as you used to, or you're hanging out with people and you're not really vibing with them? Like, you find yourself feeling a little bit alone because maybe the last 10, 15 years you dedicated that time to raising kids, being married, being busy. Maybe your kids are grown now, so you got a little bit more time. Whatever the case is, at 40 or over, a lot of people find themselves feeling a little bit sad and depressed because their social circle is not what it used to be. My name is LK Way. I'm the wellness writer for the True Age Now blog, as well as the wellness coach for my own personal wellness brand, Wellhouse. And I want to talk to you about that. A lot of times we can allow ourselves to get depressed because we start looking at our social circle and we start getting depressed because it's like, dang, I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to do that. I can't do that anymore. I can't hang out anymore like I used to. Maybe, your friends, maybe they're at different stages in their life. So maybe you still have the same friends, but you can't hang out with them like you used to hang out with them. Maybe, their kids are growing and your kids are still little. So they're hanging out 2, 3, 4, and you can't do that. Or maybe all your friends are married, so they want to do couple stuff and you're not married yet. So you really don't want to, hang out with them. Or maybe you're divorced and they're still married. And it's like, I don't really want to hang out with them anymore. So these friends that you had for years, you don't necessarily want to vibe. You don't necessarily, not that you don't want to vibe, but you just simply don't vibe with anymore because of the way life has went for you. It's called life. As we go through life, our life changes. Our social circles change as we go through life. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's part of growing. As part of life, you're going to experience your social circles changing. I remember when I was young and I first got married, I hung out with some heathens. I was a heathen. I hung out with heathens and they weren't trying to go to church, but I was. I wanted to live a different life. I didn't, I had a certain way I lived. I didn't want to live like that no more. And so I got introduced to the fivefold ministry. I got introduced to a culture of church that I was not used to. And it was beautiful in some aspects. Some aspects it wasn't. But I remember it was just all new. And it's like, dang, like, I don't have anyone to hang out with. I don't, it's just the church people. And I didn't really feel a lot of people that were at church. It was like, I was like, I didn't feel like I really connected because I felt like I didn't have that churchy culture that they had. And don't get me wrong, these are very nice people. And when we did hang out, we had great conversations and we served the ministry. But really, those relationships were centered around serving the ministry, right? So you may notice that you're at a point in your life where it's like, I really would like to have a social circle, but how do you make friends at 40? When you're 20 years old, you're typically in college, you're making friends at university, or when you're a little kid, you make friends on the playground. Hey, you want to play ball? Yes, and you're friends because you want to play ball and then you're friends. But as we get older, making friends is something that's a little bit more complex. We have certain values. We have certain things that we can do and don't want to do, or that we like to do or don't like to do. And so or the time to do it or the finances to do it, maybe you want to do certain things and maybe your friends want to do certain things. You're not financially able to do them anymore. You're not able to hang out with them anymore because you're not financially able to do that. I experienced that too. When I was younger, I wanted to hang out with people and I couldn't because I didn't have the money to do it. And I was so prideful and so embarrassed that I didn't tell them that's why I didn't hang out. I just stopped hanging out with them. And so they probably thought, dang, what's with her? Like, she don't call me no more. And it wasn't that it was something wrong with them. It's just that I was too embarrassed to say, hey, I can't afford to do that. And I didn't want them having to pay for me. So I just stopped talking to them. Totally wrong way to handle that. Yeah, 25 years later or 15 years later, yes, I don't do that anymore. But that's how I was. So what do you do about it? What do you do at 40 or more or older, 40 or older, excuse me, when you need to change your social circle or have a social circle? Maybe, you've been busy working or busy raising kids, and now your responsibilities have loosened up a bit where you can actually socialize. Well, here are some ideas. The first thing, now, I always say consult the Lord, right? because he has a way of bringing people into our life, right? So put this that's in your heart, bring it before him first and foremost. But the scripture says to us to have friends, we must show ourselves friendly. So we need to get into being friendly. Now, for some of you who maybe had such a busy lifestyle that you may not know how to be friendly, like, what do I do? What do I say? Here are some ideas. So if you know someone, maybe where you live, maybe at your job, maybe at your church where you go to church, acts of kindness are a great way to build friendship. So maybe you can give someone something like, hey, I have this extra, I don't know, something extra that you could have. Maybe, you have an extra, some food or a feminine item, like maybe a nice lotion or a body spray or something, that you can give. Like, hey, I have this extra. People love food, but some people are also funny about food. So you just have to be careful. But use wisdom. Use wisdom. Ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. And you can extend something to that person. And typically that is an invitation of friendship. It is an act of kindness. You may not become best friends because of that one thing, but it gets the dialogue, it gets the things in motion, right? To share with them. Maybe you can share with them knowledge. Maybe you know something that will help them. Maybe you know something that they might benefit from, right? You can share that knowledge with them. Another thing that we can do is we can just be friendly and speak. Maybe before you were too busy. If you're somebody that was busy, maybe you're always on the run, but you find yourself with more time and you want to be able to socialize and hang out, you can start saying, hello, how are you doing? And asking people, how are you doing? How was your day? How are your children? Things like that. You can also, if you feel comfortable with this, you can have a mixer. If maybe you have like a yard or a home or even maybe some other establishment where you can invite people in your neighborhood to come and just hang out. And if you are not good at people coming to your house and you just trying to randomly find something to talk about, you can have a theme. It could be centered around something. So, for example, maybe you're an artist. And you're like, hey, artists in the neighborhood, I'm doing this, and I'm teaching you how to do this, or I want you to bring your art and we can talk about it. Or you can start a book club if you like books, or if you do homeschooling. That's something that I do. You can have a homeschool club and you can make friends with common interests that way. You have to be bold and you have to come out of your shell if you're a shy person. In our younger days, we could get away with just kind of bumping into friends because we had school, depending on what type of work you do, maybe you can make friends at work. But as you get older, that may be a little bit harder to come by. So you're going to have to take a step of boldness and say hello and extend that act of kindness. Well, these are just some ideas to where you can start building that circle of friends that maybe you lost or that you need to change because things in your life have changed. Being 40 years old and not having the same social circle or not having no social circle or group of friends is not something that it's normal. It's not, I wouldn't say it's healthy, but I would say it's more common than you think. So don't feel like there's something wrong with you. Oh, something wrong with me. I got an issue. I'm a terrible person. No, it's called life. It's typical for those of us who are very busy. We're raising kids. We're working a job, maybe a couple of jobs, maybe putting ourselves through school to finally, when we get older, around 40, 45, 50, finally have a break to enjoy life. But it's like, wow, I've had my head in the sand for freaking 10, 20 years. How do I do this thing? So hopefully this is something that you found helpful and also very encouraging. Don't get discouraged and don't ever let people make you feel like you're less than because you don't got 1,050,000 friends, especially people that have 12,000 friends on Facebook that they don't know. They're using that as a way to try to make you feel bad. I know we're living the social media time, but true authentic friendship is not the friends on Facebook. That's a great place and we can still dialogue and network with people on Facebook, but having those interactions is something that's very nice, very sacred, and it's a gift from God for us to be able to have friends and fellowship with one another. So take the steps towards fellowshipping. Do not feel bad if you're looking around and it's like, dang, like I don't got no friends. Like I don't got nobody I can call about this. Ooh, don't feel bad about that. Okay. You're not alone in that. I was like that at one point. I still have a small group of friends, but you want to be healthy. You want to have healthy social outlets. So you want to make sure that you have a community that you're a part of where you can be heard and where you can help. And if you have no idea where to start, ministry is always a great place. Get into a healthy ministry. So seek God on that too. We'll go, you'll feel that pulling in your heart, a place where you can grow and flourish, and you'll have a community of love. You'll have a community of people that you can help and that can also help you. All right. So that's all I wanted to say about that today. Hopefully that was helpful. If it was, like the video, share with someone who can benefit from it. My name is LK Way, and you have an awesome day today.